We ask everyone, please, take your seats, please. Thank you. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to our annual Pops concert. I'm John Newton, and I have the privilege of being your Masters of Ceremony this evening. Thank you very much for attending, and on behalf of the Dartmouth High School Music Department and the Dartmouth School Music Association, specifically our Scholarship Committee, which the proceeds here go to take care of our senior students that graduate every year with scholarships, we'd like to welcome you. It's good to be back in person with no masks after 3 years. One of the wonderful things we do at the Pops is we take a moment and we, recognize someone that's done something special for the music department and everything else. And we'll have a little bit more to say about him, but our honoree this evening is our former director of music, Mr. William Kingsland. Tonight we start out our concert with a selection from the Disney classical movie Toy Story. You've Got a Friend in Me was composed by Randy Newman for the original Toy Story film and has since become a recurring theme throughout the entire Toy Story series. Sit back and enjoy this modern day classic of You've Got a Friend in Me by the jazz band with the director, Mr. Flint. And now we'd like to present our orchestra under the direction of Mr. Daniels. The orchestra opens tonight with music from a 2010 live-action movie, Alice in Wonderland. This exciting score travels through the highs and lows of Wonderland whilst bringing the audience along for a magical ride. Keep an ear out for a solo selection played by senior violinist Emma Gifford. And now, ladies and gentlemen, our Dartmouth High School Chorus under the direction of Mr. Sam Bianco. The chorus opens up their portion of the program with a suite from the Disney music Frozen. Includes 3 songs written in the style of the ingenious Semi and Scandinavian music and features an ancient Norse, the language of the Vikings. The first song, pronounced Vuli, is the theme of the movie that plays over the opening sequence. The second song, Heimer Daniel, translates to Home Valley of the Eagles and is the coronation song used in this film. The final number is The Great Thaw and is the reprise of Vuli used at the end of the movie. We hope you enjoy these songs from Frozen.
Na
keeping on the Frozen theme, the jazz band will play their final selection, In Summer. This song explores the desire of an animated snowman wanting to experience summer. Go the Distance is a song from the Disney 1997 animated feature film, Hercules. It was written by composer Alan Menken and lyricist David Zippel, and originally recorded by an American actor, Roger Bart, in his role as the singing voice of Hercules. American singer-songwriter Michael Bolton recorded a pop version of the song for the film's end credits, which is the version of the song that was arranged for this choral piece. We hope you enjoy Go the Distance.
would be worth the wait. It might take a lifetime, but somehow I'll see it through, and I won't look back. I can go the distance, and I'll stay on track. No, I won't accept defeat. It's an uphill slope, but I won't lose hope. I know the distance, and my journey is complete. But to look beyond the glory is the hardest part, for a hero's strength is measured by his heart. Like a shooting star, I can go the distance. I will search the world. I will face its horrors. I don't care how far. I can go the distance. I find my hero's welcome waiting in your arms. I will search the world. I will face its horrors till I find my hero's welcome waiting in your arms.
The orchestra continues with Concerning Hobbits from the Lord of the Rings series. Sit back and enjoy a trip through the Shire. Now we're going to give you a few minutes to stretch your legs. If you want to take, if you haven't had an opportunity to take a chance on our fantastic prizes that we have over there, again, all the proceeds benefit the scholarship, and then we'll be back with some presentations and announcements. Thank you. Everyone to please take your seat so we could get started. Appreciate it. Thank you. So I will, here you go, and I will introduce you. So we'll leave some lady that graduated back in the dinosaurs age, almost as long ago as By the way, why can't I take you back to the clock spot? At this time, it gives me great pleasure to introduce Sue Benoit, who is the chairman of our Dartmouth School Music Association Scholarship.
Everyone. I'm Sue Benoit, the Scholarship Chair for DSMA. It is an honor and a privilege for me to introduce Bill Kingsland as this year's honoree. It's fitting for me to honor him as I was one of BK's very first students when he began teaching. In 1984, I was in the 4th grade, and he taught me how to play the flute. Honestly, I think he was also teaching himself how to play the flute at the same time. I was in marching band here while BK taught alongside Mr. Mad, and in true Dartmouth fashion, my daughter, also a flute player, was one of BK's last students here at Dartmouth High School before his retirement. He did not teach her how to play the flute. And I'm sure there are a number of people here tonight who can share their stories of how BK impacted their lives and the lives of others and their families over his years of teaching in our music department. Would you please join me up at the podium, BK? On behalf of the DSMA, I present you with this plaque. William Kingsland, in appreciation for your dedication to the Dartmouth School Music Program. The Dartmouth School Music Association Pops Concert, and it's actually dated from the concert back on March 12th, 2020, when he was first supposed to be honored, and this has been a long time coming. So BK.
Thank you so much. Thank you. That's awesome. So I asked Mr. Nunes when I came in, I said, do you really want to tell people what I'm thinking? And he's like, no, don't do that. Seriously, though, thank you for having me here tonight. Thank you also to the DSMA. They did a great retirement parade for me. It was the very best that they could do at the time when all of this pandemic stuff was new, and I really appreciate it. It caught me totally off guard. I don't know if everything with the surprise went the way it was supposed to, but I was surprised, and I think I was supposed to be going to look at a house that day or something or whatever. Yeah, that wasn't what it was. Thank you to Tara Thomas, who edited and put together a great video, too. I appreciate that. You know, 2 years have gone by, and we walked out of school pretty much right before the Pops concert. And what I didn't realize was that that was the last time I was going to teach here. And those of you that hung in there found out that I'm a terrible online teacher. So thank you for putting up with all that, all the band people. I appreciate that. Susan and I were making it up as we go, you know. All right, so there were a lot of good things in place when I started to work here. I started here as a teacher in '84. Part of that was from Mr. Pandolfi that owned the Symphony Shop, recommended me to the director of music at the time, Mr. Gil Madrigal, and he's here. I'm so honored to have Gil here. That's awesome. Mr. Flint, if you decide to get married, your wife's name needs to be changed to Karen, if it's not Karen now, because we get Karen Madrigal, Karen Kingsland, and that's just something you have to do. A lot of good things were in place. A lot of good things instructional-wise, good teaching staff, good fiscal stuff going on, good breakdown of the budget, so every level was getting supplies and things that they needed. So a lot of that stuff is still in place. The budget books are similar to what they were back then, Mr. Mad, so good job with all of that. I also worked for 7 different superintendents and 6 different high school principals. They all brought something unique to the table. And they all could see what we were trying to do here. So that was a great thing. Through the years, we had great partnerships. Dartmouth Police, Dartmouth Fire, our building maintenance crew, great guys like Rick Ferrera, Ricky Mello. I think Ricky's got to be here somewhere. And, yep, you can say hello. Yeah, that's great. Other people like Peter Chase, who runs the DC TV studio now. That's awesome. I'm so glad he got that job. Another guy that helped me a lot in the later years of me working here, Jim Kiley, the guy that takes care of the school department budget and makes all that happen. He does a great job. We're also lucky to have had partners. Oh, yeah, thank you. Also partners like the Symphony Music Shop, Bob and Chris Williamson, and they're up in the back. I can see Bob from here. And also his percussion guru over there, Neil Sylvia, who's taught a lot of these percussion kids here. Great teachers. I was also really lucky to work with Tom Ungst here, who was able to bring in sponsors from Vic Firth, Yamaha, and Zildjian that really helped make that program, percussion program, what it is, and I appreciate all of that. I was lucky to have him working with me. Yes, for Ms. Ungst, yes. Probably the greatest partnership, though, was with the DSMA here at home. You know, they probably wrote the joke about, you know, you have to put stuff in the refrigerator to take nice things out later on when you need them. And that's what they've been doing forever. They build up so that we have opportunities and the means to do them for the kids in the band program and whoever else wants to be involved. So thank you to the DSMA. I appreciate that. All the presidents of the DSMA, they all brought something different to the table. They all did their best to sponsor all of our activities that were going on. And I want to say, though, I was really lucky to have Russ Benoit as I was retiring as the president, and he still is. And I heard you're not going to let him leave, so good luck with that one, Russ. And he was really good with navigating. He was really good with helping to navigate the pandemic stuff and making the best of that for all our kids. We're also lucky to have guys that would wrestle the truck, like Jules Gauthier, Fernando Frade, Mr. Pavlik, Mr. Cafaso, George Sylvia, and a lot of you may not have met him, but George is a great guy, and he helped us with our first truck that we had way back. I'd like to thank the Foxborough people, all those chair people that ran that. Like there were times I said, well, you're not going to be able to do it this year, and they did it. They did it every year and continue to do it, and they bring in a lot of money for the program to make things fly. I was so lucky to have John Nunes that you've met here at the podium tonight, Dartmouth School Committee. And his wife Yvette, who have helped work a lot of these things, and Mr. Nunes goes on the excursions and trips, does a great job. You know, I would say before, and I'm still going to say that, a lot of this is about the people, great teaching staff, Mrs. Church, Mr. Daniels, with the orchestra, great program. I don't see Addison, but Addison Caturley is still doing our color guard. I appreciate Addison's work. I see Mrs. Monty here tonight, and she's a big part of our orchestra program. I see Mr. Souza, but with no tuxedo today, so that's not good, man. I don't know. And it's good to see Tyler. Tyler does the job here that I was hired for when I started. So my son, Tyler Kingsland, I appreciate seeing him. Mr. Ungst was, I don't know, I don't really ever really felt when we did the marching band, Mr. Ungst worked for me or anything like that. We just did it together. And I think we had reasonable amount of success and good program for a lot of years. I don't know if he's back there, but. Oh, yeah, there he is. Did you guys get a deal on black suits for this thing? It's good, man. It's good. You met Mr. Bianco, the new choral director. Congratulations to him. And congratulations to the new director of music, Mr. Flint. Good luck to you with all of this. I was also lucky to have 3 outstanding office managers. I had Mrs. Clement, Mrs. Lyons, and now Mrs. Banville, who seems to have the most fun with it of all 3, but she's really good at what she does. We had a lot of fun over the years. You know, remember, Gil, the first NESBA that we won? We lost every caption and won the show. Yeah, that was a good day. I remember that at BU like it was yesterday. You know, and I can remember the first U.S. Bands Championship as they counted them down from 17. Now we had gone on first in our class, which is like, oh boy, you don't want to be there. And they're counting them down. I said, oh, I saw those guys. I said, those guys weren't that good. And I saw these. And then we got down to 3, and I'm like, oh, this is getting very interesting here, you know. And it worked out, and we landed up winning that show. So that was a really big thing for me to be part of that. So let's see, what else did I want to talk about here? You know, another great part of being in this job was having my 2 sons and my daughter go through the program. You know, it was good when they were here. It was different after they left. It was still good, but it was different. And it was really great to have them in the program. Really good. The best one that I saw, though, that I had the most fun, Mr. Mad was still directing the band, and I watched 3 200-pound guys squish a trombone flat at the old Dartmouth High School out in the back. It was, I don't know, that instrument must be hanging on somebody's wall somewhere. That thing was flat. It was awesome. And the noise that it made, it was just great. It was awesome. And I've had a lot of support from my family who I was here doing things and they were doing other things in different places, and I appreciate that, and my wife put up with a lot, so I appreciate that. It was awesome. It's good to see people that have come through the program. You probably don't know it. I know Mr. Furtado's here somewhere because I saw him. What you probably don't know is Mr. Furtado was a freshman the first year that I started working here. So, yeah, so that wasn't that long ago, was it, John? No. Okay. So, you know, I know a couple years of students have gone by, and I know they're on to bigger and better things, and there's still a couple graduating classes that would have had me as the band director. You know, I came from a thing when I was younger where I was always trying to push myself to try to do better. I thought I'd kind of hit the buzzer when I did the Boston Youth Symphony, and I had a band director. Even that wasn't really quite good enough for him, and I've always it was just a thing with me that from then I just kept kind of pushing myself with the playing and all that. What I want to tell the band and I should turn and talk to you, but I really want to tell the band that when they work their hardest and whatever they do, it was always good enough for me. And some of you out there played in bands that I directed or helped direct or whatever. It was always good enough. So whatever the number was or how it came out, as long as you worked your hardest, it was always good enough. And the same with you guys here. It's awesome. I'm so glad you're here. So, I know you're here to hear music and not hear me. So, without further ado, please, everyone, I'm so glad to hear you play tonight, all of you, the chorus, the orchestra, the band, and thank you, everyone. Thank you very much.
Our percussion ensemble under the direction of Mr. Tom Unks. Our next selection is a jazz standard composed by Billy Strayhorn. Sit back and enjoy Take the A Train. By the way, they're going to be pulling the numbers shortly. So on your way out, take a stop by and see if you're a lucky winner. When She Loved Me is a Grammy Award-winning song written by Randy Newman for Disney and Pixar's animated film Toy Story 2 and recorded by Sarah McLachlan. The song reveals the backstory of Jessie, a toy cowgirl, as she reflects upon her defunct relationship with her original owner, by whom she has outgrown. Our soloists today are Lillian Silva and Laura Lima. Here is When She Loved Me.
When somebody loved me, everything was beautiful. Every hour we spent together lives within my heart. And when she was sad, I was there to dry her tears. And when she was happy, so was I. When she loves me, through the summer and the fall, we had each other. That was all. Just she and I together, like it was meant to be. And when she was lonely, I was there to comfort her, and I knew that she loved me. So the years went by, I stayed the same, but she began to drift away. I was left alone. Still I waited for the day when she'd say, I will always love you. Lonely and forgotten, never thought she'd look my way. Then she smiled at me and held me, just like she used to do, like she loved me when she loved me. When somebody loved me, everything was beautiful. Every hour we spent together lives within my heart. When she loved me.
Now for our first selection by our concert band this evening, also known as Darth Vader's theme. Imperial March was composed by John Williams for the original Star Wars movie in 1980. This march was premiered by the Boston Pops Orchestra prior to the release of the original film, which creates a special tie to our region of the country. The Chamber Orchestra will now present a medley of favorite tunes from Aladdin. The orchestra would like to thank percussionist Elliot Dion for setting the mood and adding bursts of color and emotion throughout. While the orchestra gets set up, the following people are our winners: Linda Santos, Paul Fernandez, Bill Fonseca, Faye, Kathy Sutherland, Heidi Brooks, Jeannie Shea, Amy Dumas, and Laura Edgecombe. So you can pick your prizes up on your way out. Thank you very much. Seize the Day is from the Disney 1992 live-action movie Newsies, based on the newsboy strike of 1899, and was written by Alan Menken. This song will be conducted by a student teacher, Meg Sullivan. While they're getting set up, for those of you that are golfers or know someone who plays golf, the Scholarship Committee is holding our second annual golf tournament at Allendale Country Club on May 1st at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. We'd love to see you and have you participate. Mr. Benoit is over at the raffle table, and he has applications. If you're interested, they're also on our website, dsmahome.org. All set? We are thrilled to present our next selection, Pan. This collaborative effort features the orchestra with members of the band, resulting in a full symphony. Sit back and enjoy a trip through Neverland, where Peter finds himself at odds with pirates and thieves, having to rely on his wits and a little bit of pixie dust.
While they're finishing up back there, I just want to say that it's been a real honor to work with a full symphony. We've only had maybe a total of an hour working together. The band students worked on their own, and the orchestra, we worked on our own, and then we got together for about an hour, hour and a half to put it all together. So all considering, they have done a fabulous job, and I am really proud of this group, and let's just give them another round of applause.
Under the Sea is a Grammy and Academy Award-winning song from Disney's 1989 animated and Academy Award-winning film, The Little Mermaid, composed by Alan Menken with lyrics by Howard Ashman and performed in the film by Samuel E. Wright. This version of the song was arranged by Pitch Perfect musical director and Grammy nominee Deke Sharon for the group De Cappella. Our soloists today are Gabriella Reardon and Emmeline Tavaz.
The seaweed is always greener in somebody else's lake. You dream about going up there, but that is a big mistake. Just look at the world around you, right here on the ocean floor. Such wonderful things surround you. What more is you looking for? Under the sea, under the sea, darling, it's better down where it's wetter. Take it from me. Up on the shore they work all day, out in the sun they slave away, while we devote full time to floating under the sea. Down here all the fish is happy, as off through the waves they roll. The fish on the land ain't happy, they sad 'cause they in the bowl. But fish in the bowl is lucky, they in for a worser fate. One day when the boss gets hungry,
Guess who gone beyond their plate?
under the sea, under the sea. Nobody beat us, fry us and beat us in fricassees. We walk the land, folks love to cook. Under the sea, we off the hook. We got no troubles like Disney bubbles. Under the sea, under the sea. Since life is sweet here, we got the beat here naturally. Even the sturgeon and the ray, they get the urge and start to play. We got the spirit, you got to hear it under the sea.
The noodle play, the flute, the carp play, the harp, the place play, the bass and they sound and sharp, the bass play, the brass, the chub play, the top, the fluke is the Duke of Song. Do 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 do.
Go ahead.
Hello, everybody. Just like to thank everybody once again for being here tonight. It's been so, what I say, flexible this year, and that's been the key to all this. You know, we had planned to have a high school band concert back in January, and it's obviously not the right situation. It's amazing the difference like 6 weeks makes, you know, to go from a point where we couldn't have a concert because I came into school one day and we did band rehearsal and there was a third of the band missing, to now where we're here and we're unmasked and we're able to do concerts for real, right? Like what it feels like for real concerts with everybody here. So this feels really great. So Bill did most of my thank yous already, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to run down the list because I can't miss it. But I just want to thank Ross Tebow, Dr. Gifford, Mr. James Kiley, the custodians, DSMA, DCTV, all of our amazing teachers we have here. I'd like to, real quick, have all the students that either made junior districts or senior districts please stand. Thank you. There's some percussionists back in the mix back there too, that they're standing with them. But that's a lot of extra work that goes into that for any students that audition for junior or senior districts. It was virtual auditions this year, so it was a little extra pressure because you got to record yourself over and over again until you get it right. We did have one student that had made all states this year. He was actually first chair all-state band. We had the rehearsal yesterday, and he's going to be playing in the concert at Boston Symphony Hall on Saturday, and that is Owen Sieska back here on bass. I'll just use him as a great example of students we have here. He's shuffled. He's been like almost every group that we have here at Dartmouth. And that's the reality. It's like he's an all-state tuba player, but is an amazing bass player and jazz bass player, and can kind of do it all. And we got students they're true musicians. They're not just like, okay, I learned this solo and I make all states. It's like they're musicians first, and then there's a result to that is they make all states or into these higher end groups. So quite the achievement. One person I cannot miss is my amazing assistant, Miss Kathy Banville, that does so much work behind the scenes. It was a crazy week, so I just got to thank her double. So it's, sometimes it's just nuts, and it's been crazy for the last 4 days, and she does an amazing job, and we don't miss a thing. And then the last people I want to thank is just all of our students. Amazing concert tonight. Really, really proud of them. And they pushed through all this, and that is really something that's unique. I was at All States yesterday talking to directors, and the stories are so bad, and ours is so different than what most other communities have went through with this pandemic. And to come out of this where we can have performances like this, it's like it never happened, right? And that's truly amazing. But that's the students stepping up and making it happen. So we got great staff, and we pushed as a staff to make it happen, but they didn't give up ever. So I just want to give them a big round of applause. Got some things coming up tomorrow night. If you have an indoor student, we have what we call the parent preview, but there's a parent meeting tomorrow night too with that. So at 8:30, we're gonna have all 3 indoor groups performing here. It is free, it's just you come, but it is really just for the parents essentially. If you sneak in, I'm not gonna kick you out, but there we have this year with the Winds group added to that, so they'll be performing their first time tomorrow night in uniform with everything. The color guard's gone out once and the percussion's gone out once, but we're gonna get a run through tomorrow night before Saturday's competitions. It kind of goes into high gear here the next 6-7 weeks, so that's coming up. We have our May and June concerts for all of our ensembles. They're going to be concerts in the auditorium with just the individual groups, 30 to 45-minute concerts. So this will be the last time we're all together this year. That schedule will be going up very soon because now we kind of know what's going on. And it's sorry about, we try to schedule things and we try to do it about a month out, but now we can kind of predict the future a little bit better, hopefully, and we can get all that information out to you. So look for that in the near future. So with this, it's a really unique scenario for me as the director of music here. This is my second year, which is really weird, right? Like, as being a second-year director of music at school, I feel like I'm finally starting to get used to what it is. The first year was super weird. But, I just want to, this will be probably the only time we're standing here with, like, all 3 past director of music that go back all through these years. The impact you just don't understand. Because I marched in the cadets. I was from Pennsylvania. I marched this drum corps, and, they put all these kids together. It's 1998. I'm 16. I'm shocked because I'm in like the best drum corps in the world, first of all. And then I get on the bus and there's these kids that are like, I'm in this marching band and like, you want to watch the video? And we're like, okay. And like Dartmouth goes on the screen. I'm like, this ain't like my high school marching band, And so there's like that impact. And I remember seeing that. I remember sitting on the bus and watching Dartmouth, like the marching band video, it would be fall '97, and going like, oh geez, like that's serious. Like, my band is nothing like that. Like I wish I was in something like that. And then we came up here. I was in an indoor percussion group, an independent group. We came up. There was a regional at New Bedford Votech, and I saw Westport and King Philip and New Bedford and Dartmouth and all these amazing percussion groups at this regional. And I'm like, once again, not like what's going on in Pennsylvania. It's the next level. It was pretty insane. So I go through college, music ed major, teaching in Philadelphia. And, you know, I got out of school and I'm working a couple part-time jobs, and, you know, job opens up here and I'm working with Tom. He goes, hey, you know, you might want to interview for this. And I was like, that's insane. Like the idea that I could work at a program like Dartmouth and like my first full-time job. So I come up at Roger Williams with the drum corps, and Bill comes over to interview me, and we sit on a rock outside the thing, talk for about 5-10 minutes, and he's like, Tom really recommends you. He thinks you're going to be great. He's like, I don't know. You'll have to figure this out because it's a hard job and you're brand new to teaching and you probably don't know what you're doing, which was 100% true, you know. But the reality is that Bill gave me that opportunity. You know, just like he's looking at me going like, this is some kid, he's going to have to work this out. And, you know, it was a struggle for a year or two, but, you know, there's a lot of great teachers around, and all that guidance that comes from Bill and everybody else that's here gave me the ability to be in the place I am today. Right? Like I owe so much to this Dartmouth program, so both to Gil and to Bill and everything, you know. I'm not alumni, but the impact goes far beyond our doors. The programs that look up to this program, it's because of the heritage that goes so far back. And I tell people it's like back to the 80s, look back to the 70s. It goes so far back. And if you want to have a great program, you've got to build it up, and then it's about sustaining it. It can't be like a one-hit wonder like, oh, we're good for a year or two. It's just not worth it. You're going to work so hard, but you have to figure out how to sustain a system. And, you know, my job now is to figure out how to keep this going, right? And that's really the key to it. But it's that strong infrastructure, all of you, the community, all that support. And, you know, I just want to thank both of them once again. If we can have you guys stand up. One huge round of applause for both Gil Magical and Bill Kingsland.
Ladies and gentlemen, the man that keeps this going, we haven't missed a beat, even with a pandemic, our Director of Music, Mr. Ian Flint. Our final selection for this evening is from the movie Up. This wonderful score from composer Michael Giacchio has won multiple awards for the best original soundtrack and is a modern-day classic. before we do our final numbers, I would like to, once the concert is done, the students need to get their stuff put away. If we could get some adults, we've got to turn this right back into a gymnasium for tomorrow morning for school, so give us a hand to get chairs stacked and such. We would appreciate it.
I just feel it wouldn't be right. We have one song we have to play that might not be on the program right now, so.
And now we'd like to conclude our Pops concert, our annual, with our Glory to Dartmouth, and then our Star Spangled Banner. Gentlemen, at that time, if you would please remove your hats, it would be appreciated. Thank you. Thank you very much for coming, ladies and gentlemen. Please drive safe home. Bill, congratulations.